lot. They tell me that they listening, so why you think I talk a lot? I'm making money on the market, trading on phenomena. I beat the market every year, come meet me in the octagon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, got your watch list coming into August 9th, 2019, and the stock market is going to be crazy, not only because what we saw this week, the news that just keeps coming in after hours, this incredible rally in the opportunities it's created and not created, but then for the option traders and everybody's YOLO demon, it's Friday. So there's going to be an awesome opportunity to take advantage of when it comes to volatility and the expirations on a Friday. Now, it is going to be extremely risky, as we've learned over the last weeks. Even better, the opportunities that today or tomorrow is going to create coming into next week. So we have a few things to talk about. We are going to be covering all of this live, so make sure you are there. We are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. It's pinned in the comments. First link in the description as well. And we are going to cover today in this video, I'm going to go over the keys for tomorrow to look at, the plays we made, and I am going to talk about spreads a little bit because we did make a play on TLRY, and a lot of people were kind of confused how we were going about that. But if you haven't seen it, it's titled on this channel, Advanced Robinhood Trading Strategy for Small Accounts, and I go into much depth with it, but I'm just going to quickly talk about the play we did. Then I'm going to go over the other stocks that we need to watch and any of the other plays we made today. So please, let's not stall. Just get straight to it. Like the video. Double check. Make sure you're subscribed. If you like the video and subscribe, I heard it attracts ponies. That's the word on the street. And then most importantly, my friends, you need to post your watch list below. Man, look at these crazy after-hour moves. But let's get into the keys tomorrow. Let's talk about what is going to happen. Here's even the small account too. We suffered a bigger drawdown than I would have hoped, but let's see what happens tomorrow. But now, let's make this bigger here for you and bold it. Keys for tomorrow, there's more trade war escalation. Now, tomorrow's going to be crazy for a few reasons. Like I said, the fact it's the Friday, and then now how the market is going to react tomorrow to the fact that after hours, we did see the yuan weaken a lot more, but not as much as it did throughout the day, which we saw stabilization from. And again, it's hard to understand if that is because China is interfering or if it's the U.S. after the Treasury, after the currency manipulation designation that has now allowed them to operate in the open market to limit the competitive advantage of any currency. That's why that news was so big, as a quick little recap. But right away, the markets went down because now there was this report that the White House is going to be pulling some of the pending licenses for Huawei to sell to U.S. consumers or for U.S. companies to buy from them, even though we already had some approval from Japan. And even though Trump said it has nothing to do with the trade war, the fact that that's coming again, these are very notable big escalations that are occurring. And I think that's something we got to watch out for. But the key is going to be watching how the market responds to this news tomorrow. That's going to create one thing, but now what we have to also watch out for is that that's pretty much going to be the only catalyst, because usually Beijing and China, Beijing, they're the same thing, but we're not going to see them respond on a Friday. Usually, if anything, they're going to happen right on Sunday night, right before the markets, even coming into the morning on Monday, but they're not going to react usually on that Friday. So watch how everything could play out. I am expecting, and a lot of people, again, who knows what to expect in this marketplace right now. I'm thinking it can look something like last Friday, and this is what I said today. We've officially solidified the range now by capping out right where we gapped up from. If it does come back, that's even bigger range, but I think it's just we might be bouncing in between this new 277 after hours, but realistically like a 282 and 293. Again, if it does come back to 300, I think it's going to have to test below here one more time. But again, all bets are off. We don't know what's going to happen. Even if tomorrow repeats as a bounce now and it has one of these small moves in the morning and then catapults up, that is going to be great for you option traders, because that's what pushing into the wall means, baby. It's a Friday. There has to be some contracts that are going to get cheaper. They have no choice. This is when theta is your friend, my friend. No, your biggest enemy is sometimes your closest ally. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. But again, watching how this plays out is going to be very important tomorrow. How the markets react is going to give us an idea. And now with all of these moves we've been seeing, I think we're on the cusp of something big. And we talked about bonds today. If you guys were on there before the 11 at 11, I really enjoyed that. So I'm glad. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun and got to learn something. But where the rates are at now and the importance of bond, and now what other countries and currencies are going to start doing in terms of whether it be the currency war, but mainly how their central banks react and the rates that they set. It's going to have a carryover to the currency values and everything else. Those could start tipping the scale. And now I'm going to make a video on this. And now why do I even bring that up? Because we are on the cusp of something big. However, it's very easy to listen faster, and it's very common to expect and imagine it to play out in our heads, in a completely different way. And this is where I'm saying we have to be cautious and really understand the longer term view and be, smart with how we're spacing our money, and even just waiting, and even to playing tomorrows like Fridays, and waiting till you get the best opportunity to take advantage of the theta declining or the values declining because of time. It's very important, but really it's starting to look like a bear market move in terms of what the market is doing, all of these just straight bounces and just coming up, and who's buying these off of, it's really, where is this money coming from? What's happening? Why is it doing this? Again, we're seeing, and this is what I said, to watch how the markets react off of zero news. But part of it is looking at the bear market, where in the sense that the premiums are not going up as much as you would expect, or they're kind of pricing in higher premiums. And even though it's making these big moves, it's kind of expected. It's yielding like a 1-to-1, 1-to-2 reward, which isn't as good as you would see. But now, nonetheless, the most money is statistically made on both sides, on either or, 6 months prior to any recession or big event, because you have this risk on, risk off environment, push, pull, cat, dog, whatever you want to call it. And we even saw that with some of the plays today. A good example that we're going to talk about will be McDonald's and AMD and some of the moves that they made. So keep your eyes out for this. Don't listen too fast. Don't let these moves shock you. Be prepared, and again, just focus back on the option prices. We need to take the best prices and the best risk reward, and that's both what does the opportunity present as well as what are the prices presenting. So let's get into the plays. I want to talk about something that we need to look for, plays that I made so far, and then even again, coming back to this TLT, this is kind of backtracking to say why I think we're on the cusp of something big and something is going to happen, because what the bonds are doing is absolutely insane. And again, you're seeing these crazier moves, and the bonds and TLT above 140, it is definitely going to signal something, and how it's been moving is very, very important. So we're going to keep our eyes out for that. That's one of the plays. But what I really wanted to talk about was the AMD here and McDonald's. McDonald's. I want a pony. Oh, I want a Happy Meal. These are what we need to watch tomorrow and the rest of the week, and anytime it gets volatile. I said this yesterday, where McDonald's and some of these value stocks could hold up and kind of be a lot better rotational, but even then on the shorter terms, what these contracts did, and again, they are weeklies, but the fact that they went up so much in value is absolutely insane. These contracts at today, actually, it's kind of funny, they closed down a little bit lower. These 220s, and now this could be one of those. Again, this is going to be one to even watch right off the open, but the fact that they were very cheap, that 17 cents, and they went up to 60, 500% reward, 400% reward. That's amazing in this type of market, where you could have really pinpointed some of these calls, and it would have been very, very difficult to make this much money because, again, the premiums just weren't really giving it there. So I thought 220 was out of the question at the beginning of the week, so that's why we didn't play it. But these are the ones we want to watch that still are moving big. The premiums are dropping, but can quickly rise back up to value. And another example, and again, it has to do with the underlying stock. In the case of AMD, they had good news today with licenses with Twitter and Google, and they went up an insane amount. Even the weeklies alone, these are up over 5,000%. Even this morning, we could have got, that's where I'm really pissed off that we really missed them this morning. And they were 10 cents and they closed up even at 60, 70 cents at the money. But even worse, the August 16th, when I sold mine, I don't know, I think I said it, I was expecting, like I said, okay, we bounced to 31 after we sold out. I was, when I made that Amazon spread, I was considering these, and these are at 27 cents for some time. And the fact that it's already gone up, those are up over 1,000% there. And you could see why, the next weeks didn't appreciate as much as the weekly. And again, that's what we're going to be going for to take advantage with time. But watch those and watch these individual moves. And again, the best part about these slow run-ups is AMD moves slow. Believe it or not, it did all of these moves, but this was pretty slow for the day. It went 31 to 33, came down to 32, and then some of those premiums really died, and then this was a great frog opportunity. It just slowly started edging up, and that's the bigger the move sometimes, the slower it'll happen right before your eyes. We just really have to catch it by 10, 11 a.m. Eastern. So keep that time frame in mind as well, too. I like both of these, and both of these are going to be the plays. If you guys haven't seen that strategy video, the play is watching them off the morning, because they're going to be very volatile off the morning. Some of these contracts on the weekly now, this is pushing it to the wall. You're either going to find a great opportunity in the morning if they're going to continue the streak, or you wait till literally later in the day to catch them on the frog. But if they fall out of the money, some of these contracts near the money or out of the money, let's say AMD has just a quick $2 gap down, and that's just from the morning move. The contract's $2 out the money, so this is $33.50. Let's say the stock just comes down to 31 real quick. These are going to go to like 10 cents or something, 5 cents. And again, you'll take the risk, because if it doesn't bounce back up, you're screwed and just paid 5 cents for something that you could have paid 5 cents for something 50 cents out of the money. But if it bounces back up real quick, you could be an instant winner on there. So you could even do the same thing on the mid-dated contracts, the August 16th as well. But I'm going to be watching the McDonald's as well too. I want to see if these fall out the money, how these two, again, the 220s kind of did it already. They went up a lot. They dropped back down to their opening. So how McDonald's opens tomorrow and what it does, that could be a good one. So I'm going to be watching those two. Got AMD. Next is TLRY. Now this is where we talk about the spreads. I made a play on these, and I made a September 75 play. And I'm going to show you guys two things. I'm going to show you the option chain on it, and we'll show you on Robinhood how to do it. But it started popping. GWPH had good earnings, and again, they have earnings on August 16th, and I like them. Ooh, yes, it's doing it here at close. Excellent. I like TLRY. It could go crazy. If you guys remember back in the day what TLRY's done, it has all the weed hype. However, if you know TLRY, it's kind of like Beyond Meat. The implied volatility is stupid. It's not worth it. And anytime it pops, everybody and their mom's like, oh my God, TLRY's going to go back to 300 a share. We got to buy it. IV is a result, not a cause. IV is a result, not a cause. IV is a result, not a cause. So literally, anytime TLRY pops, IV goes up because of people's expectations last time, and they understand what it could do, the low float, the space it's in, and then the higher and higher it goes, the more and more people buy it, then the more and more people start expecting that, the more they demand it, the stock starts implying a bigger move. So that's why I got a shitty contract. We got this 75 for September, and the whole concept was by getting time, September, that allows you to soak in the IV. If you go shorter duration like a weekly, you got to be getting in the money. And honestly, we couldn't have played anything that cheap that would have made as much sense. So, and I said, hey, no commissions, Robinhood will get this at $10. Now, as the stock was popping, you got to understand that demand goes up. People's like, oh my God, I'm implying what's going to happen? Something's going to happen. Oh my God, we got to buy it. And then people just start buying random contracts, even if they're shitty. But even then tomorrow, let's say this comes up. I didn't do the play yet, so I'm going to, but we bought that 75. So here it is. You know, it says we're up 60%. We bought it at 10 cents. But now this is what I'm going to do on this tomorrow. This was my plan and my goal with it, is that the minute these contracts, I was aiming for the 85s, and you see someone bought them at 8 cents already. That was the last trade. We could have done it. So there's two things. I could either shoot to get my money back, or I could shoot to make money. It's what I did on the UVXY play the other day at the beginning of the week. But we're going to aim for like the 80, let's say. So I'm going to wait till this 80. And again, depending on how the prices move, we're going to see. But depending on what the 85 contract does, I want this contract to be at least 10 cents on the bid. And what I'm going to do now, since we already own the 75 contract, I'm going to go here, and this is creating a spread. Now, the issue is a normal spread, if I'm doing a credit spread, or excuse me, a debit spread, it's usually a debit spread if we're in a situation like this where we bought this one and then we go and we sell the premium here on the 85, it would be a debit spread because usually this costs more than this one and you're spending more, so you do a debit. But by buying this one and not selling this contract, I'm going to wait till this goes up in value. And if I could get $10 for this tomorrow, I have it on a sell. It's a call. We're going to go to the 85, go to sell, and I'm going to put this in. I'll put one contract at, let's say, $10. And now if somebody buys this contract at $10, I'm shorting the contract and I'm agreeing to sell them 100 shares of TLRY at 85. But now I own the right at 75. So if I ever get exercised or the stock shoots up and I have to give them these shares, if I'm going to lose on this trade, I have to win on this trade. So the difference between the strike prices is $10. So $10 per share. It's $1,000 max gain. But now here's the key. I bought this for $10. If I sell this at $10 now, I would get all my money back. So then I spent nothing. If TLRY goes up to and shoots up by September, I paid nothing to make money. If I lose on them, I could hold them both till expiration, and if nothing happens, I don't lose anything. It's a free play. It's a literally free play, because we were able to do a spread and we somehow turned it into a net debit of 0 or a net credit of 0. But now, let's say TLRY gaps up $5-10 tomorrow and goes crazy in the morning. These contracts will probably be way worth more than 10 cents. Let's say I could get 40 cents for them. I could do the exact same thing, sell it for 40 cents, and now I got paid $30 to take this trade. So that's a cool thing to know. And a lot of people are like, well, what's the risk? You got to understand the risk of a spread. As long as if you're shorting a contract, I wouldn't short this you don't short any contract unless you own the right at a lower price. That's how you make sure it's no risk. And now it's like, how much money do I make? What's the max gain? So like, let's say tomorrow it does gap up. Like if I could sell this 100 for 10 cents or 9 cents, then literally as long as I get my money back, it's all about what you could sell the contract for. I'll collect that $10. But now if I sell a further strike price, that widens my max gain that I could make on the trade. So that's pretty much it. That's the quick rundown, but I encourage you, please go watch that video. I made a 30-minute video. I think it described it very, very well and how to do it on Robinhood as well. And again, for the smaller accounts, you guys could see, but be familiar before trying to pull off one of these trades, because if you do it the wrong way, you know, it's not good. Just please, okay? Come on. Yalla. Take 20 minutes, man. Come on. You're going to spend 3 hours on stream trying to wait to copy a trade. Just go watch the video. I promise. You watch the video. You tell me you watch it. I tell you, okay, here, easy one. You know, it's just like this. You learn. So watch out for that, though. But watch out for TLRY. We'll see how it is. If any of you are looking to buy further out of the money contracts, I'm willing to sell 90 strike prices for $10 if you want them. You know, hit me up before you make a trade. We know we'll set this up. But there's that. Watch those. Watch Apple. We had those. Remember those calls in the beginning of the week? We bought those as the bounce play, and they dropped, and then they came back up. So, again, these could be some of those plays to push to the wall to see, because those contracts will get really cheap, but then watch the 202.50s at open. But Apple's been showing some pretty good gains there that I want to watch out for. And, man, I'm so pissed. If you guys see Amazon, that credit spread we chickened out of, it's $8 from the money. So that could hit tomorrow, and that could have been a max gain of $1,000. And sadly, that would have literally, and again, I went too big on it, so it's hard to say. And this is where I would say for you guys, you've made trades like this, you've sold out of them, you chose not to take them. It's going to happen in this market. If you spend time beating yourself up and dwelling on what you didn't have, you know, I want what's going to be mine, baby, okay? That's it. I'm telling you, the markets are moving so fast and so slow at the same time. You do not have time to get hung up on bullshit. I mean, is it something to be mad about just because I want to say I'm mad about it and talking about I used to have a pony. I want to go home. You're going to miss the next pony in front of you, baby. That's okay. You got to get the pony that fits your lifestyle, that's going to fit you. You know, I don't know what I'm saying right now. But you guys get the point here. But we're going to watch that. And I want to watch Amazon because if some of those plays could become cheaper and what it's doing, we'll see. You know, if I could get it now. And it's actually, that is what I meant. You know, get something that fits your lifestyle. If I can find a play now that is going to fit my budget and fit what I wanted to do with it, that's going to make me comfortable to hold it how I should have, I'm going to take that. But if not, I'm happy that I stuck with what I did. I at least I'm sticking to a principle and sticking to a plan, no matter how bad the plan is. I think Warren Buffett said, an idiot with a plan will be a genius without a plan. So just stick to it and don't worry. If it's going to work, that's it. If you're going to micro-analyze and switch up your gears, man, you switch sides on me like that, damn, son. No one likes a person like that. You won't even like yourself for that. That's why you'll probably beat yourself up, because you just keep switching sides on that. You keep switching. You don't know what it is. That's a lot of uncertainty. There's no foundation. You're going back and forth. You're doubting yourself. Then you're patting yourself on the back, and then you're doubting yourself again. Like, just chill. Make your decisions. Chill with it. Move on. Again, the market is going to be crazy here, and we're going to have many, many opportunities. All you have to do is preserve your capital, and that is why I was happy. I did it. I still got money. We did throw out a few other trades. The drawdown can get a lot bigger. I'm starting to throw more capital, but it's still enough for me to do a lot of damage with. Again, that's the thing too. If you do want to start pushing, or some people, we had a 11 out of 11, they were saying, hey, I want to wait till I get this much money before I could start doing this. It's like, and they were saying they even turned $100 to $1,100 after watching the Robinhood video. Just don't forget what you already did with $100. You don't need more to do this, or I'm gonna wait till this happens. You have the power and ability already. So do not forget that. But I'm gonna watch Amazon. I really like it and just what it's doing in general. So keep your eyes on that. HD, those plays plays went up, and I like this one a lot if it keeps going up. So we're going to see how this one plays out. I will be keeping my eyes out on this one and seeing both the short term, and we have the August ones. And now we have to also start examining too, because depending on the move it makes tomorrow, if that August one goes up a lot more, we could either consider making it a spread, or again, like that TLRY, or we come back, or we'll have to sell it and wait, because that's the next thing. Any August 16th contracts coming into tomorrow, Friday, if they make big moves, you got to really consider what you want to do, because coming into Friday, on Monday, they will instantly become a weekly. So if there is a gap down or any other move, they're going to be very, very susceptible to losing value and losing that value quickly. So there, McDonald's, we already talked about that. Next, TLT, keep your eye out for that, and it's crazy moves in general. I want to watch that. I also want to watch Snapchat. It had a really, really big move today. You know, they had the debt offerings and stuff like that, but again, they're coming off their post earnings. The fact that even during all this, they've held up pretty good. I like the report. If it starts to go crazy like that again tomorrow, I'm going to keep my eye out for it. And again, you saw it here. Look how it's moved throughout the day. This could be another one of those slow movers. So I really like Snapchat. I'm going to keep my eyes on that for tomorrow. And that's kind of one of those obscure plays that could go out of nowhere. Then next is Walmart. So we got those puts. We're pretty much down on them unless something happens or we want to try to make a play on it coming into next week. But the fact I want to look at it, there's a few value stocks like even Starbucks today. You could see, you know, McDonald's only moved 1/8% because it sold off there at close. So this kind of even shows it. But even throughout the day when everything else was ripping, Walmart really just stayed the same, and it barely moved relative to the market. Market moved 2%. They closed at 0.5%. So watch how that plays out. And again, it could kind of move like Home Depot. So I want to see that. Next is going to be Intel, same situation. It barely moved up relatively. It's a slow mover, and that's why even last time we got those only $10 contracts, so I was cool losing that on the weekly. But we're going to see how this plays out tomorrow. I'm going to keep my eye out for Intel, and again, anything with the chip makers, Huawei, all that. And when I forgot even to say on AMD, with this big move, and they moved up 15%, the contracts went up. We did grab a September 26th. So now this is a little further out the money. I think the 29s and 30s are great on the put side, but they're a little bit more expensive. And again, when something's having this big run up, I usually hate trying to catch it and you know, get a put while it's going up, because usually the puts are still expensive because of the spread. But I like that one at 18 cents just for the amount of time it had, because it could do this bullshit for a week. And then AMD is kind of notorious for having those run-ups and drops out of nowhere, as you could see here, or literally any time in the last year it's ran up. So again, this is a big resistance level too. So again, this could even be a good play tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. But watch that, Intel, and then Disney. We got that put on August. They moved up a lot, and I want to see how they react, both call or put side. But I'm still kind of bearish on them, but I think I'm going to keep that on my radar. And then lastly, the plays I want to keep watching beyond. I think this thing is going to be plummeting. I got like a 135 put for $70 yesterday. I'm going to look for more of these puts if they get cheaper. I was trying to do some ghetto calls or put spreads on them. So we're going to see, but watch what it does tomorrow. If it doesn't do anything tomorrow, I'm looking into next week. And the key on these ones is just get time. I think it's only a matter of time when Beyond is in a range and does this stuff. But again, it has shown a tremendous support around these levels, but it holds it in a $30 range. So watch for them to go down. I'm going to keep that up. And then lastly, Crowd, Zoom, and Shopify. These companies are all back now. So market's kind of doing its thing. They want to bounce. Shopify earnings, it's at the top. Zoom is kind of there in the middle. I do like Crowd, and now the best part is they're back at those highs. We've already cashed out at all of them. They're going back to the same levels. You could get a little bit more time in the same time frames. The contracts are going to be cheaper. That's what I like them. So I'm even going to be looking at Shopify tomorrow. I think that's going to be a good one. Remind me about that one in the morning. Get ready to play. Make sure your head's in the game. When you get out of bed, leave the wimp in the sheets. Stay focused. Stay excited. Stay blessed. Recognize what you got, man. And everything is a fun day in the market. Then the week after that, IB is result of content as financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional. You can lose all or not most of your money investing in options. The Colt loves you, baby. I'll see you in the morning. Post your watch list. Let's go.